and welcome into Bengals Breakdown. I am Tom Downey with some breaking news for Cincinnati. Major change in the running back room. Zack Moss is coming in from the Indianapolis Colts. Joe Mixon is on his way out of Cincinnati. A 2-for-1 move that shouldn't necessarily surprise anyone. Once the first one came down, the second one just made so much sense to go down that path as well. We'll break down the signing. In general, I am a huge fan of this move. I think this is a really smart decision by Cincinnati. I love the Moss signing. I'm on board with cutting Joe Mixon. You're saving money, getting better at running back. I think this is one of the better, affordable free agency markets signings that you shall see in this offseason. So we'll break this down in depth here. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Obviously, it's probably around 10:30 by the time it gets out East Coast time. We're not in the office. News happens, sleep when we're dead type of deal. Hit that sub button for more free Bengals offseason updates. On a day in which the Bengals signed Geno Stone, they bring back Akeem Davis-Gaither, they re-signed Drew Sample to a kind of big deal. I think the Stone signing was great, and I think the Zack Moss signing is frankly even better. Zack Moss's numbers. Let's go to the contract details first. That's more important. 2-year deal for Zack Moss, $8 million total. Now the deal includes, per Tom Pelissero and Mike Garafolo, $4.5 million-ish in the first 2 years. So you're probably looking at that includes some signing bonus stuff. Probably looking at like a $3-ish million cap hit this year and a $5-ish million cap hit next year, somewhere in that range. So what you have done for Cincinnati by cutting Joe Mixon, and saving a not insignificant sum of money in the process here, by moving on from Mixon, and make sure I got my numbers right here. They already took it off. Wow, that was really quick. You're eating a $2.75 million cap hit. You save over $6 million with cutting Joe Mixon. You're basically paying Zack Moss about half of that this year. You're going to pay Joe Mixon, and you got a better back. You're getting a better football player who pairs really well with Chase Brown, who can do some more explosive things for you, who looked really good with Jonathan Taylor banged up and was not that much less productive than him, has been productive the past couple seasons. You have got a good football player on a cheap deal. This is a great signing by Cincinnati. So grade the signing for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comments section. It's a pinned comment, by the way. Look, I think Moss is going to be a good one. I think this is a good signing. You're not paying him anything. There was I talked about it all offseason long, right? You had an extra supply of running backs and a demand that was down for them. And you took advantage and found a very cheap football player who's young, who fits their archetype, and has coming off his best year ever. Zack Moss in 2023, 183 carries, 794 yards total, only 5 scores. Again, JT had a big role there. 4.3 yards per carry. He had 4.9 yards per carry on 93 carries in 2022. Somehow with the Bills mixed in here as well, by the way. 3.6, not very good in 2021, and 4.3 in 2020. It's funny, the Colts traded Nyheim Hines, got Zack Moss back, and upgraded a running back with picks. Bills kind of wish they had him this past year. The breakout came for Zack Moss. I'm not saying he's going to be a top 10 back or a top 5 back or anything crazy, but he's going to be a starter for you. He'll fit well alongside Chase Brown, and you're paying that, again, exactly what we thought was going to happen. You can still go select Edwards-Helaire if you want to. You have signed a better back who is cheaper. That does not happen very often on day one of NFL free agency. To put it in perspective, Zack Moss doesn't bring a ton of third down value. I think you can find somebody else with that, let Chase Brown do it, but you're getting a good football player at a pretty darn affordable rate. So give me your one-word reaction to the signing of Zack Moss here. One word and one word only in the comments section. Upgrade's probably mine. I'm not trying to be mean to Joe Mixon here, but I think this is a path that makes sense. I didn't want to pay Joe Mixon $6 million because I was convinced you could sign a better back for cheaper. Bengals just did that. I think there are other teams, fan bases out there might be like, dang, wish we had done that. It's a good deal. That was a good It's a good, solid, strong addition by Cincinnati. To put this in perspective, how about we look at it this way? Over the last 3 seasons, Zack Moss has had yards per carry of 4.3, 4.9, 4.3 in the last 4 years in that time frame. Joe Mixon hasn't averaged over a yards per carry figure of over 4.1 since 2018. Like, from an efficiency standpoint, you're getting better here. Like, this is the exact type of running back you should have been in the market in. I think other teams should have. Mid-tier, solid, young, ascending, affordable, not ridiculously expensive, and an upgrade. It's not that different than the Geno Stone signing. So 2 moves by Cincinnati, if you want to include the Geno Stone angle here, in which this team upgrades. Get a better player, a better veteran over a previous player. I guess we include Nick Scott at safety, which was a pretty big upgrade there for Cincinnati too, going from Stone to Scott. You now do the same thing at running back. And if you want to, you re-sign Travion Williams. If you want to make your backs, Zack Moss, Chase Brown, Travion Williams, a draft pick. If you want to do the Bayou Bengals thing and bring in Clyde Edwards-Helaire, sure, I'm down with that. It's a very, very, very accurate prediction from Paul Danner, by the way, on those. It's funny. I was looking at it now. My perfect free agency plan for Cincinnati has turned out pretty solid. From what they've actually done at this stage. Now, tackle is up in the air, but I was going to first 2 steps. Cut Joe Mixon and sign Zack Moss. We did it. They listened to me, or maybe I just, did the thing that they should have done anyway. I wanted Mike Onwenu. He's off the board, so right tackle remains uncertain there. I said Jordan Whitehead, but I kind of thought Geno Stone might get more from the Seahawks. Didn't end up happening. I love this move by Cincinnati. I think you've upgraded at running back. Do you agree with me? Pick a running back in the comment section. Z for Zack Moss, J for Joe Mixon. Sound off in the comments. The Bengals, by the way, still have plenty of salary cap space to make a move at defensive tackle or right tackle. Maybe that's the next areas to monitor here. The markets for both tackle markets stagnant. DT market's out of control. Arizona's overpaid 2 mediocre players, massive money. Didn't understand that at all. But look, you've taken care of. Looking at the other team in the mix were the Dallas Cowboys, by the way. I'm looking at that right now from Michael Gelkin of Dallas Morning News that the Cowboys were also in the mix. Apparently, the $4 million a year was too much, and the Bengals won the bidding war. Great. $4 million is not too much for Zack Moss. It's a good move by Cincinnati. I am a huge fan of this signing. Starting caliber back, super affordable. You save money. If I didn't give my grade earlier, it's an A. It's an easy A. This is one of my favorite free agency moves so far. You don't get much value on day one. This is very much a good value signing by Cincinnati. Hats off to the Bengals there. We'll have more videos for you as more news happens, so make sure you guys are subscribed.